Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Jose Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, I am live tonight to talk to you guys about the big fight card between David Benavidez Jr., David Benavidez, confused with the brother, versus Demetrius Andrade. It is a big fight card, guys, on pay-per-view, November 25th, live on Showtime in Vegas. The four-fight card is stacked, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it, break it down for you, give you guys predictions on the fights and the fighters involved. Hector Garcia, first fight on the card, guys. Hector Garcia will be defending his lightweight crown, super featherweight title, WBA title against Lemon Roach. Hector Garcia, as we all know him, Olympian, represented the Dominican Republic in the 2016 Olympics. The android, they call him. Got big wins over Chris Colbert, came out of nowhere and outclassed Chris Colbert, who's a pretty good fighter himself. Defeated Roger Gutierrez, that's who he won the title from. And he'll be taking on Lemon Roach, who's been around. He's fought Jonathan Oquendo, solid contender from Puerto Rico. And he lost to Jamal Herring. And we all know, remember, Hector Garcia fought Tank in his last fight back in January. Big step up. It was a pretty competitive fight until Tank caught him with a body shot in 9 rounds and stopped him in TKO in 9 rounds. On paper, it's not really a step up for Hector Garcia compared to Tank, but should be a competitive fight. Lemon Roach can fight. He's a good boxer. But Hector Garcia, Olympian, 16-1, 3 no contests, 10 KOs, pretty skilled, pretty crafty. He was part of that wave of Dominican boxing last year. Dominican Republic has been known for like baseball as their sport. And they always had boxers, but none of them really made it to the top leagues like Puerto Rico, Mexico, other Hispanic countries. But last year, man, they came out of nowhere and with a tsunami wave, I call it, of Dominican boxing. They were coming out of nowhere, beating prospects, scoring upsets. And Hector Garcia was a part of that upset, that tsunami wave. And like I said, he came out of nowhere, beat Chris Colbert. He defeated Roger Gutierrez, became the champion by defeating Gutierrez. And that's how he earned his spot with Tank. So here he is fighting Lemon Roach. And he's defending his title against Lemon Roach, who's had a pretty good record, 23 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest, 1 draw, 9 KOs. This fight will be 12 rounds for Hector's WBA title. First fight of the night. Should be competitive, guys. And then we got the fight, in my opinion, in what should be the co-main event. I don't know why it's not the co-main event, but it is what it is. Subriel Matias versus Sugar Shroom Ergashev, guy. That is the fight of the night, guaranteed. Fireworks. As a matter of fact, this is the only reason why I'm buying the pay-per-view, because Subriel Matias is on the card. 19-1, guys, 19 knockouts versus Ergashev, 23-0, 20 knockouts. In a fight like this, you don't need any judges, because the judges, there's no need. Like I said, there's no need. Subriel Matias has already stamped his claim as one of the most dangerous fighters at 140. The boogeyman at 140. No Mas Tias. That's what you call him. That's another name that's coming out there. No Mas Tias. The punching machine, the Terminator, all kinds of names. And Matias has lived up to all those names. He is what he is. He's a monster. Comes forward, a lot of punches, awkward style, iron chin. And these fighters could tell you, Jukinbayev, Petros Ananian, Hedemius Ponce, Malik Hawkins. Only one fighter can't tell you, and that's, unfortunately, rest in peace to Maxim Dadashev, who passed away in his fight with Matias, who was also a pretty good fighter coming into the fight, who was highly touted, to the point where if he had defeated Matias, he was in line for a title shot. And Matias came out of nowhere and stopped that train. And Matias is on a 4-fight win streak since his loss to Petros Ananian, which he avenged by TKO. And in those 4 fights that he's won in a row, Matias has made all 4 quit in the corner. That's why his name That's why the name right now out there that's coming out is being mentioned is No Mas Tias, because no one wants any more with Tias. Sugar Ergashev, solid fighter, very skilled, very crafty, explosive, punching power, but has not been tested. You know, he has all the talent in the world, all the skills in the world, the power, and all that jazz. But he has not been tested the way Matias has been tested. And that's the thing in this fight coming in. That's what this fight, that's the thing with this fight. That once it gets tough in there, because it's going to get tough in there. And we all know how Matias responds and what happens when it gets tough in there. Ergashev has never been in a tough fight. Yes, he's going out there and blasting out his opponents in a couple rounds, outclassing them, outboxing them, using his talent, his skills, and wowing the audience. But he has not fought someone that could give it and take it and give it back to him. His own medicine, push him back. Because Ergashev is usually the one pushing his opponents back, doing what he wants with them, bullying them. Now he's fighting a guy who is just like him and more, who's been in there, who's been in the trenches, who's been in give and take fights, who's been pushed back and pushes back as well to, you know, return fire. And this is what Ergashev is going to have to encounter on the 25th. He's fighting a guy that is going to push him back, who's going to be in his face, and it's going to be getting him artillery out of this world, an offense out of this world, a style that he's never seen, competition that he's never seen, and that is Subriel Matias. Punches and punches, tap, 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 comes with a hard one. After 4 or 5 punches, combinations, uppercut hooks, iron chin. So when it gets tough in there and Ergashev starts to get hit back by Matias is when we're going to see how good Ergashev really is. Like I said, Ergashev has all the talent in the world. You watch his highlights. It's amazing. He's a really good fighter. But there's levels to this, and Matias is going to show him who the boogeyman at 140 really is. Because a lot of people claim Ergashev is a boogeyman at 140. So in my opinion, this is the clash of boogeymans, because both of these guys have a history of fighters not wanting to step in there with them. They're not anxious to fight them. So guess what? When you usually see this type of thing happen, they fight each other. And this is what we got: a car wreck for as long as it lasts. 42 wins, 1 loss, 39 knockouts, combined records between the two. So a knockout is likely to happen. It's 12 rounds of boxing for Matias' IBF junior welterweight title, his first title defense. And in my opinion, if you're a Matias fan, you best buckle up for a ride, because it's going to be a roller coaster for as long as it lasts. It's going to be a crazy fight, guys. Bombs away, concussive punches all throughout the fight. You hit me, I hit you back harder. And it is the fight of the night, the best fight on the card, in my opinion, stylistically. Like I said, it should have been the co-main because it's a title fight and it's a fan-friendly fight. So, and that is the reason why I'm buying the pay-per-view. I'm buying the pay-per-view because only one fighter on that card, and then it's Subriel Matias. On to the next fight, guys. Jermall Charlo will be returning to the ring after almost a 2-year layoff against Jose Benavidez Jr. in the co-main. He will not be defending his title at 160, the WBC title, for some reason. I read that online before coming on the live. Maybe that's got to be due to the inactivity. I don't know, but he will not be defending. So this fight will be 10 rounds of boxing. Jermall Charlo, one of the Charlo twins, the bigger Charlo, he's fought, some solid competition compared to Jose Benavidez Jr. He's fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's fought Juan Montiel. He's fought Cornelius K9 Bundridge and Austin Trout and Julian J. Rock Williams. So he's been in there with solid competition. Jose has only fought 2 solid competition, and that is Terrence Bud Crawford and Danny Garcia. Crawford stopped him. Coming up, Jose Benavidez Jr. was a highly touted prospect. He was supposed to live up and become bigger than David is today, but he got shot in the leg prior to the Crawford fight, got stopped in 12 rounds, even give a good account of himself with a shot leg against Crawford. Had it all wrapped up in the fight, and he got stopped in 12 rounds. So imagine. Then he lost to Danny Garcia last year in a competitive fight by decision. But I think Jamal Charlo, man, it levels to this. Jose is going to do his thing, be competitive as he always is. But Jamal Charlo, even though it's been 2 years, I'm pretty sure he's been training his butt off for this. His mind is there. I know he was going through some depression, mental health issues, but he's cleared that all up. He's in the gym training. He's ready to fight again. His mind is focused, and should be a competitive fight though. Should be a competitive fight, and of course I'll be looking forward to it. It is the co-main of the card, and we're in now the main event. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, the Ecuadorian monster because he's mixed, he's not fully Mexican, versus Demetrius Andrade, who's been known as the boogeyman at 160, 168 for some time, for years. He's got a style that no one wants to deal with. He's a fighter no one wants to fight. Demetrius Andrade, 32-0, 19 knockouts. David Benavidez, 27-0, 23 knockouts. Stylistically, it's going to be a competitive fight. Demetrius Andrade is going to show the world why no one has been wanting to fight him for years. His last real fight happened 10 years ago against Vanis Martirosyan. That fight, I remember when it happened on HBO. It was a pretty competitive fight. Demetrius Andrade got dropped, got up off the deck to come back and score a split decision win. That's to tell you how competitive that fight was. So Andrade had to bite down on that mouthpiece that night. Since then, no one has really tested him in the ring. But that all ends on the 25th because, in my opinion, David Benavidez will be his toughest test since Vanis Martirosyan 10 years ago. David's going to be walking down, pressure, power, speed. Demetrius, who's going to be back boxing on his back foot, using his skills, counter punches. I'm sure he's going to try to make it boring as possible because that's his style. Because standing in the pocket with David Benavidez will be the biggest mistake of his career and his life if he does it, which makes it fun for us fans because Demetrius Andrade is the guy that you want to make stand up and fight. And the only way you do that is by applying pressure. And that's what David is going to be doing in this fight. That's what he's going to want to do in this fight. David, when he gets to you and closes that gap, in which I know he will against Demetrius, he's going to start ripping those combinations, the speed, the power, letting offense go like crazy. And we're going to see how Demetrius responds to that because Demetrius has never seen anything like that. Like I said, he hasn't been tested since Vanis Martirosyan 2013. So this is his biggest test since that. And I think David Benavidez is going to give him the fight of his life since that night. And Demetrius, win, lose, or draw, is going to earn his paycheck in this fight. So that is the card, guys. My predictions in this card pay-per-view. I see Hector Garcia winning by unanimous decision against Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but I just feel the deep amateur background that Hector has, the solid competition that he's had a better resume than Lamont Roach. He's beaten Chris Colbert, Gutierrez. He's a champion now. He'll be defending his championship against Lamont Roach, something that Lamont Roach has never accomplished. Is boxing. Anything can happen in the sport, in this fight. Lamont Roach may score an upset. We've seen it in boxing. Like I said, in boxing, anybody with two hands had the chance in that ring. It's 12 rounds for that title. And I see Hector Garcia pulling out a unanimous decision win in this fight. And now we are going into the car crash, the car wreck of the pay-per-view, and that is Subriel Matias versus Ergashev. In my opinion, it is going to be a barn burner. Both guys are going to be throwing concussive shots all throughout the fight. It is going to be the fight of the night, likely fight of the year potential. And that is Subriel Matias. Matias is going to stop Ergashev, in my opinion. Matias is going to break him down. He's going to be a bit shaky earlier on, but Matias is going to be the one to show the world why he is the most dangerous fighter at 140 pounds. By stopping Ergashev, I'm going to give it 8 rounds, at least 7, that Matias stops Ergashev, because Ergashev is no joke. He has not fought elite competition, but that's because no one wants to fight him. No one wants to fight Ergashev. He's like Matias. No one wants to fight him. As skilled, as talented as he is, it's real. What you see is what you're going to get from Ergashev. And he's going to give it to Matias. He's going to give all the angles, the speed, the power, busting him up, everything. But Matias is going to separate himself like he usually does, break Ergashev down, and force a stoppage. Whether it's corner stoppage, sitting down on a stool, or on his feet. Ergashev quitting on his stool is crazy. But Ergashev getting stopped on his feet, just getting stopped, period, is my prediction. Matias by TKO. Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Jamal by decision. I think Jose Benavidez, since going up in weight, has been taking these punches better. The Danny Garcia fight, he did not get dropped and he did not get buckled or anything. He was taking some solid shots without going down. So I think he'll be able to withstand Jamal Charlo's onslaught. I don't think he'll get stopped. He'll be by decision. Jamal Charlo by decision, guys. And then we got David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. My opinion, David forces a stoppage in his fight. Demetrius Andrade will show why he's been avoided for so many years. Even Canelo, you're a hardcore fighter. Canelo may have said that, but that's probably a duck. So Demetrius Andrade will show us why he's been so dangerous for so many years and no one wants to fight him. But in the end, David Benavidez is going to walk him down. That pressure is going to become a little too much. And I say in the 10th round, David Benavidez gets him out of there. In a spirited effort by Demetrius Andrade, 32-0. He doesn't know how to lose. Like I said, he came off the deck against Vanis Martirosyan, bite down on a mouthpiece, and scored a split decision 10 years ago. But I'm sure that Demetrius Andrade is still there. Remember, this guy has no wear and tear on his body. He's not been in wars. No one has really tested him since. And David is going to do that on the 25th. So we'll see what happens, guys. That's my predictions. That's my take on the pay-per-view. It is a stacked card. Just by having Subriel Matias is exciting. And it's just the reason why I'm buying the pay-per-view. I don't know about you guys. But should be a fun night on November 25th. Showtime pay-per-view. And there you have it. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your predictions. Let me know what you guys think on this card. Should be a fun night of boxing. All these fights are going to be solid and exciting to watch. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Jose Cruz. This is my first live in a while. Of course, many more lives are going to be coming. And there you have it. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, Jose Cruz. And I'll see you guys on my next video or my next live. Peace.